Woman seeks divorce from man who she said loved her too much. This and more, all for you, coming up. Now let the nerd do his dance, will ya? Well, good evening, good evening. Nice to have you here. Hope you're all doing good. So let's get right into the stories here. I know you and your friends are going to enjoy this one here. So this very first story is coming out of Chechen. Okay, a Chechen man was forced to issue a public apology for crying at his sister's wedding. Okay, Chechen men are considered some of the most masculine men in the world. And this is an image that authorities are keen to maintain. So anything that threatens to damage that hard-earned image of fearlessness is frowned upon. A young man recently learned that firsthand after crying at his sister's wedding. I don't know. Well, if it was his own, I could understand why he would be crying. But anyway, we going on here and thing. According to historian Zelimkhan Mosav, the public display of emotions at Chechen wedding parties is unbecoming, even among women. Even women can cry. So when a video of a young man shedding tears at his sister's wedding went viral on social media, it angered a lot of people. And seen as the nation's leader, Ramzan Kadyrov, who boasts a very manly public image himself, had also criticized the violation of Chechen customs and traditions. The offender was identified and forced to apologize for showing excessive emotion. Wow, that is crazy. Well, that is crazy. That is crazy. The young man, who, according to Chechen tradition, should not have even been present at his sister's wedding, was reportedly forced to record a video apology to Ramzan Kadyrov, which was later shared on Instagram and other social networks. They're shaming that boy for crying. In the video, the offender apologizes for violating Chechen etiquette at public events by attending the wedding and putting his emotions on display. So he can't attend his sister's wedding and he can't cry at his sister's wedding. Now, clips of men crying at weddings and giving their sisters away on their marriage day are absolutely unacceptable for the Chechen community. There's a set of unwritten rules of the conduct at a wedding, the observance of which allows us to maintain our mentality and special culture, the original video caption read. In the video, the young Chechen explained that he couldn't control his tears at his sister's wedding because he didn't want her to let her go. Yeah. Although it is believed Kadyrov and other Chechen are trying to win political points by appealing to the tiny country's traditional values, many condemn the approach and claim that the man in the video was bullied into issuing the video apology. Of course he was. You cry, you little sissy, bet, bet, bet. Go apologize to us men in this Chechnyan culture. Interestingly, the presence of the members of the bride's family at weddings or the public display of emotions at such events are not against the law in Chechnya. It just goes against tradition. Tradition is a bitch, man. That's why many criticize the government's approach of cracking down on offenders. Man, I bet there's hungry people in Chechnya. I bet there's homeless people in Chechnya. Instead, you go for that? You go to shame a dude for crying at his sister's wedding? Wow. I tell you, y'all are crazy. On to the next story and thing. Woman seeks divorce from husband who loved her too much and never argued with her. That must be a worldwide thing. But anyway, here is a story. UAE media recently reported the most unfathomable case of a woman who decided to divorce her husband after a year of marriage because he loved her too much and he never argued with her. That's all I could do, just if this funny news story is anything to go by, Too much of a good thing can indeed be harmful in the long run. A UAE woman recently sought to divorce her husband at the Sharai court in Fajura because she felt choked by his love and affection. To make matters worse, the husband allegedly never argued with her during their 1 year marriage and even helped her with house chores like cleaning, which she described as hell. She described the man helping her as hell. He never yelled at me or turned me down. The poor woman reportedly told the court, "I was choked by extreme love and affection. He even helped me clean the damn house. How dare he? How dare he try to clean the house? I long for one day of dispute. But this seems impossible with my romantic husband, who always forgave me and showered me with gifts." She added, "I need a real discussion, even an argument, not this hassle-free life of obedience." Present in court during a preliminary hearing, the husband told stunned judges that he felt he had done nothing wrong. Of course he hadn't. He was loving his wife, you know what I mean, and thing. And he said that his sole goal was to be a perfect and kind husband. I thought that was every woman's dream. Unfortunately, it seems that his excessive desire to please his wife had made her want to ask for a divorce. You love me too much. I want a divorce. The husband admitted that he went to great lengths to please his wife, telling judges that one time when she complained about his weight, he went on a diet and started exercising. He even suffered a leg fracture as a result of his efforts. Still, he asked the court to advise his wife to reconsider. Reconsider? She'd be packing. You see what I mean? My man went and exercised, broke his leg, and she still think he's weak. She still think he's soft. No. She wanted to go beat up another dude. No, yeah, go beat that dude up. That will make you a man. It's so stupid, man, you know. It's not fair to judge a marriage from the first year, and everybody learns from their mistakes, the man said, according to the Khalij Times. Luckily for him, the court adjourned the case to give the two parties a chance to reconcile. And I wouldn't reconcile with that woman for nothing. No. Nothing. You see, let me give some advice to some. Let me tell you what happens to nice guys. And this is my thing. This is my thing here. So don't run with it. Here's a scenario. Woman is dating a complete jackass. Jackass is playing with papers like I am now. Get a paper cut. "Oh, my man, let me take you to the emergency room." So off they speed to the emergency room. Meanwhile, nice guy has stomach cramps, debilitating stomach cramps, can't move, everything is weak. He crawls to the bathroom, reaches to the toilet. In the meantime, man with a paper cut is like, "Honey, I'm hurting, I'm bleeding." Oh, they're at the hospital. They put a little bit of rubbing alcohol or something on there. He cries because it burns. Meanwhile, you, Mr. Nice Guy, is laying on the ground next to your toilet because you was too late, laying in your own brownness. Because it was too late. You was too weak to get up and put yourself up to the seat. You see, that's what happened to nice guys. Those idiots who don't appreciate anything get all the attention. Experience, not mine, but I see that bumbleclad thing happen plenty of times, you know what I mean and thing? Next story, all your next story. 24-year-old man marries 81-year-old woman to avoid military service. Why can that be? A young Ukrainian man has managed to successfully avoid compulsory military service by staying married to a woman 57 years his senior for almost 2 years despite widespread criticism online. The man has the law on his side. Ukraine, man, there's a lot of Ukraine stuff going on. Looks like they have the same habits. If you know what I mean, anyway. In late 2017, Alexander a young man from the Ukrainian city of Vinnytsia, received his conscription papers. He was to report to the nearest military commissariat for enlistment in his country's one-year military service. All able-bodied Ukrainian men aged 18 to 26 are required to undergo military service, with one exception. If such a man were responsible for looking after a disabled wife, he would be exempt from service. So Alexander somehow convinced his cousin's 81-year-old disabled grandmother to become his bride. He married a family member. And the couple have now been married for almost 2 years. Kondratyuk is 24, so after 2 more years he will become too old to undergo military service and probably divorce his octogonian wife. I guess that's what it is. Ooh, what a word. Anyway, the bizarre case first made news headlines in early 2018 when the military commissariat in Vinnytsia, filed a complaint with the prosecutor's office in hopes of getting the marriage between the 22-year-old Alexander Kondratyuk and Zhenida. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that last name. I tried it, and it's not working. Anyway, but I'm going to just say Zhenida. 57 years his senior, annulled. They were convinced that Kondratyuk had forged the marriage documents to avoid military service. But the investigation showed that the pair had legally gotten married in the village of Bykovac near Vinnytsia. After the Civil Acts Registration Office confirmed that Alexander's marriage was legal, the military had no choice but to back off. However, earlier this month, Ukrainian press brought the story back into the spotlight and asked representatives of the military what they plan to do about the particular conscript. Why are they going after the dude? If the dude don't want to join the damn military, don't let him. If he's going to go to that length, what's the point? I don't get it. The director of the commissariat in charge of conscription in the Vinnytsia region told reporters that Alexander has the right to have his draft papers deferred because he is the guardian of a registered disabled person. And since a valid marriage certificate as well as a document providing Alexander's residence at his wife's home had been produced, there was nothing the military can do. I don't know whether to congratulate old dude or go, dude, you married your cousin's grandmother, which means she's related to you somehow, unless it's a cousin-in-law, which they didn't specify in the story. 24-year-old Alexander continuously denied that he only married 81-year-old Zhenida to avoid military service and insists that he has very strong feelings for her. Yeah, right. Zhenida is more likely to be visited by her nephews and grandchildren than by her young husband, according to her neighbors. And the only proof of their marriage is on the paper, baby. Wow. Some people do anything to get away from their wives. This guy decides to get one to get away from military service. Wow. I couldn't do it. I'd go off to war. But then again, I'm not the warmonger type, but anyway, and thing, you know what I mean? There you go, people. This one's for you and all of that, you know what I mean? Now, remember to subscribe and also hit the notification button. And don't stop watching. Go on, watch the playlist of all the videos in this order, in Giants Odd News. Go ahead, watch it. I tell you, you're gonna have fun, you're gonna enjoy it. And while you're watching it, keep everything cool runnings.